So naturally I wanted to do another one of these tagged videos, but I wasn't exactly tagged in, so this one is actually called the firsts, like your first of like things. So let's pretty much go right into it. And I won't be tagging anybody this time. It's whoever wants to do it, they can do it. I'm looking at you guys out there. Don't disappoint me. So let's just dive right into it. The first ever tweet I ever wrote, I actually had to write it down. Like I had to do like a whole bunch of things to find out what it is, and I just found out I can actually download an archive off of, Twitter. And yes, I actually do have a Twitter if you want to check it out. It's right there. Follow me for mindless banter at like about 3:30 in the morning. That's basically what I do. But my first ever tweet was on November 24th, 2009 at 9:41 p.m. where I say, quote, "What the hell? Why did I even make a Twitter?" I don't know. I guess that's the standard thing for everybody who makes Twitters, because they just don't want to acknowledge that they actually do have one, but I have one. It's just really, it's just something I use to pass the time. The first ever YouTube video I ever posted was actually was back when I used to have this really weird camera phone. It was, I forgot what model it was, but I have it back at my parents' house back in Connecticut if I really wanted to, actually look for it or something. But the very first video, I have another post-it note for this for this one too. Don't worry, this is those are the only two ones I actually have post-it notes for. But the first ever YouTube video I ever posted was on May 12, 2006, and it was called Firework Mishap. My friend bought some illegal fireworks, brought them back up to Connecticut. Well, it wasn't illegal where he bought them, but it was illegal in Connecticut because in Connecticut you can only have fountains and you can't have any aerial shells. So he bought a few illegal fireworks, brought them back up here, and it was basically us lighting them off. And this particular video was very funny in a way, because it was like this thing that you light and just go. Laundry's done. Okay, but it was basically this thing where you place on the road, you light it up and it just goes out. Just zooms out. But what happened is kind of like in the process of taking off, I think it was some sort of plane or something it was supposed to be, it sort of jumped around and shot back at us. And as you can see in the video, it almost hits us. First ever blog, you mean like on YouTube or something? I really don't know, but it was this very old video from way back when I first started on YouTube. That's actually still getting a lot of hits. It was pretty much the first video I ever saw. And it was basically two Israeli chicks lip-syncing to the Pixies' Hey. That's, I guess you could say that's the first ever thing I subscribed to on YouTube, so let's just go with that. My very first profile picture on Facebook was actually me playing my 5-string bass, but that one's kind of long gone because I need to see if I could actually find it. Maybe it's still on there. If it is, I'll just post it up there. If not, then we'll just go with that. But it was from a 9-hour. It was like a continuous 9-hour jam session that me and my friend Gary had back in college, which basically we set up our guitars down there and down my basement and just played the entire time. It was a lot of fun. One of my good friends, Brandon, he married my ex-girlfriend's best friend. So during the time when they were getting married and stuff, I actually got back in contact with her. That was the first time ever that I actually really started talking to her since we broke up. That's basically, and ever since then I haven't really talked to her. Maybe a couple times on YouTube or Facebook. The first alcoholic drink I ever had, maybe a beer. It was just sips that my father gave me when I was younger. But my first legal drink was actually a orange kamikaze at this bar in New Haven, Connecticut. My sister brought me out there because none of my friends were 21 at the time, so I hung out with her then boyfriend, and a bunch of their friends. My very first job, I worked at the beach. Yeah, but I wasn't a lifeguard or anything. I was 16 and I was working as a beach sticker checker, which basically you have to wave in cars, stop cars that don't have any, the proper sticker or just stuff like that, and then charge people out of towners $5 to get into the beach, $10 at the other beach, the sister beach that I worked at as well. So basically, there's two beaches, like one over here, like about a mile down the road was the other one. That was about $10. This was $5 for the entire day, and it was a job, my first job. What do you want from me? My first car was a Nissan Altima GLE 93. Man, that car was actually really kind of cool because I had like on dashboard, on windshield display. Like I had the speedometer like one corner. It was really cool. Like something I really enjoyed about that car was that I didn't have to look down to check out my speed and stuff like that. So really cool. And that was my first ever car. It was actually a hand-me-down. It was my sister's car. Then she bought I think that's when she bought her Jetta. Yeah, I think it was when she bought her Jetta, and then I took over the Nissan, and I had that up until 2000, about fall 2006. So that's when I actually bought the car I have now, my Hyundai Elantra. Actually, I didn't text anybody today. I mean, naturally, the first person I think of when I wake up is my fiancée, Jen. I mean, shut up. I don't know who she is. I really don't. I don't even remember her name. I don't even think I even referred to her by name back in that. I think that was the weird year that I never referred to my teacher by her name. So I really don't know. I went to Florida with my family. That was the first time I think it was back in 93, 94 was when we went to Disney for the first time, and that was the first time ever I was on a plane. I was scared out of my mind, but because I had no idea what to expect while going onto a plane, and when you're 10 years old and on a plane, that's kind of scary. My first best friend, I think it was actually this kid named Ben. Yeah, I think it was this kid named Ben who I met way back when, and actually I lost contact with him many years ago. I don't remember. I think it was actually this kid I used to hang out with back in grade school and stuff. So the same thing I do every morning. I pee. The first concert I ever went to, I mean, I guess I can consider this to be my first concert. It was actually at a bar. It's the bar's long gone. Really kind of sad in a way because it was just a fun atmosphere to be a part of it. And I saw a whole bunch of different local bands, and but my first really big concert, a venue, I think, was actually when I saw MXPX, Good Charlotte, and Ultimate Fake Book, which is still I guess you consider that to be my very first big concert if you don't include that time I went to the bar with my sister. I think I was I was 17 or 16, 17 when I went to that one, but I went a couple of years later, to see them. So that was a really fun night, and that was that actually started a trend that every time that Good Charlotte came to Connecticut, I saw them because it just happened to be every time I would go to a concert, they were either opening, or they were, or they were at the same venue, or if it was an outdoor venue Warped Tour or something like that, I would always, for the next the next 5 times they were in town, I saw them. The very first broken bone I ever broke, it was actually a combination of a few different things on my left hand here, because I was over a friend's house and I got knocked off a bike or something, and he was falling on his bike and then ran over these fingers over here, like broke my middle finger, sprained my ring finger, and I sprained, like I minorly bruised or something my pinky, but the most of it I got was actually from my middle finger because it was like all the way down here. That took the blunt of it. And I think that's why my hands are kind of screwed up right now. Actually, my first and only piercing this year right here, my left ear. I haven't used it since high school. Probably not going to use it again. It's just sort of there. The first foreign country I ever been to, Canada. Back in high school, we all went to, we went to Canada back in my junior year. It was like the big class trip, and like everybody was looking forward to it. The first time I ever put anything other than, like U.S. American dollars into my wallet. And it was actually really cool and kind of frustrating at the same time because I wasn't expecting that Canada would have so many different coins for, different denominations and stuff. So I had about $40, like $40 to $50 worth just in coins because like the, $1 and $2 coins, which I'm not used to. The first movie I ever remember seeing in theaters, I think it was Willow or Labyrinth, one of the two. I think it was most likely Willow. Yeah, I think it was Willow. Classic Jim Henson film, so. I only had one big detention back in high school, and that was because I just forgot my homework. And it was my physics teacher. He's like, "Oh, then you gotta go to detention." Fine. Okay, he was my physics. He was my physics and chemistry teacher, like same teacher back then. And he just gave me a detention all because I didn't do my homework. That's the whole reason. It was like the most pointless thing I've ever had to do. My first roommate, I never went away to college. I guess you can consider my fiancée Jen to be my first roommate. Because when we moved down here, we moved in together. The first sport I was involved with is, by many standards, is not really like a sport to some people, more like a discipline. I was big into martial arts, so back when I was like a whole lot younger, and I did Taekwondo for many years, and I just stopped. But that was the very first sport I was ever really into. First thing I can do when I get home, maybe change out whatever pants I have, depending on my mood. If I want to just be relaxed, or I do, put on PJ bombs, or I go to the bathroom, or I sit down, I wash my hands, something like that. It's nothing really that special. My first kiss was with my first girlfriend, Colleen. It was kind of embarrassing because we didn't really kiss until many months after we first started dating, and she was my first girlfriend, so I didn't really know what to do. So I was kind of shy about things, and then constant people saying "Oh, you should kiss her." I'm like, oh. Then I finally did, and it's like, oh, okay, not that bad. Well, that's it. Like I said, I'm not going to tag anybody, so anybody who watches this, you can tag yourselves if you really want to. So that's it. I'm going to do more of these too, because I just keep on finding more.